Hello everyone, welcome to the training today. My name is Singh. Today I'll be showing you the anonymous reporting portal, or also referred to as the whistleblower portal. So for just a little bit background on why you would need this is most publicly traded companies, they are required to have this. Um, if they're applying for especially a SOC 2 or SOX agreement. They have to have this in California. It's not really called a anonymous reporting portal. It's called Employee Protection Act, I believe. I'm just going off of memory, but it is also a requirement. Okay, so there's a lot of requirements involved where, especially on the anonymous side, you want to be very careful when you're designing something like this. Most large company, they have deep pockets, so they could just fork out a few grand a year to purchase a service from another company. So there's actually a lot of companies that provide this particular service, and it will meet some of the regulatory requirements for a lot of companies. So this training today is just to show you that if you don't want to purchase their service, you can actually build your own. You have more control over the submission, the encryption, the file, the retention, and the whole process. Okay. So here we go. Here, I'll start here. So this is on the regular website. Normally, if you implement something like this or deploy this, you will probably put this on the Onion site using the Tor services. Tor can mask the user's IP, and that's what you really want. You want people to feel safe when they are making submissions, especially if they're reporting a crime. A lot of people don't report crimes and criminal activities because they have a fear of retaliation from the company or a manager or a supervisor, even a CEO or CFO, and etc. So this provides them that avenue where they have a safe place to make submissions. Okay. So I'll start here. Here you have a simple form. It locks in the date, and what the user does is they'll choose from the categories here, and they could pick anything here. I'll pick, let's say, theft here. Okay, I'll make my inputs here on the description here. So I'll say, I saw, let's say I saw Lily ate Bitcoin without washing her hands or something like that. Okay. And then the next thing they'll do is they'll click on the Begin Secure Submission here. Okay. Now, there's two buttons down here. One is the Begin Secure Submission, and then the other is Submit Report Anonymously. You have to start with the Secure Submission first. Okay, so we'll click on that. And there's a good reason why, because now the form will lock in the submissions, and it's going to have a countdown. The normal time frame, I usually set it to about 30 minutes. Here it's just 1 minute just to speed things up for this demo here. But 30 minutes, the reason why behind that is to really protect the site, especially if you put something on the dark web, on the Tor site or network. Your site's gonna pretty much get bombarded with bots and automations, which is going to span your entire submission site here. So that's one of the main reasons for the countdown. Okay, it will require the user to manually click the Submit Report Anonymously. So once this hits 0 here, then that button will be activated, and we can submit it. There you go. Okay, wait period is done, and then we can do that. We can submit that. And then it's going to tell you it's successful, and about 5 seconds, it's going to reload the form again. Okay, so that is the submission process. Okay, what you don't see on the back end is that once they submit this, I'm gonna minimize this here. Actually, I'll open up my web server. So on my web server here, I'm using FileZilla, and you can see that I have all of my submissions here. So it's gonna grab the date, random numbers, and then it's gonna kick out the text here. Okay, the category. I'm sorry, the category here. So you want that, you can drag that over to wherever your files are at. I'm gonna grab that and throw it into my folder here. So if you're running this on Thor, what you would do is you would have this on a virtual machine. You would probably have Apache installed, PHP, and then run the Thor bundle so that you can use the Thor daemon, and then you can host your site on the dark web. Okay. So here we have it. I'm going to open the folder here, and I drop the files here. I think this is one of the new ones here. I think that's one of the old ones. Let me grab the other one, def here. That's a new one there. Okay, and that's the new one there. So this is what the file looks like. It's encrypted. So this is one of the requirements of an anonymous whistleblower portal. Even IT should not be able to read this. And there's a lot of regulations. I'm just kind of stating the one that sticks, or the one that I can actually remember right now. So it has to be encrypted. Okay, so this is where you have the encryption. I use AES, and then I wrap it with the RSA. Okay, encryptions. So you can see the private key there. So we're gonna close out of this here. So that's the actual file. Now only your compliance officers or delegated employee who will review the submission can see it. So there's a utility that I built here. Is the decryption utility. So I'm gonna start that up. It's just a PowerShell script here. And I'm gonna minimize this a little bit so that it'll fit in my screen here. So first thing it asks you is for the password to the utility, and then we'll put in the password. Then it's gonna ask you for the JSON file or the encrypted file. So I'm gonna go here. It is this one here. Right click, copy path. So what we're doing here is we're telling it that this is the file I want to decrypt, and it's going to ask me for the key, my private key. So let's look at this. Let's go back to my here. I save my private key here. Normally you want to save it on your workstation. You will save it on your USB stick, and so that you can secure it elsewhere. Okay, we're gonna copy the path here, and we'll throw the path there. And let's go back to that utility. Okay. So two things you need the file. You tell it that I want this file to be decrypted, and this is my private key. Hit enter, and there we go. It decrypts it for you so that you can read the report or the submission, and then you can, based off of that, you can start your investigation, or you can verify information, and etc. And it protects the person who submitted the tip or the information as well. And that's one of the big requirements in designing something that's anonymous, or especially for whistleblower. You really want to protect them as well. And if they don't feel secure and safe while making those reporting something that they saw or witnessed, it deters them from doing so. And this is one of the ways that you can do it safely. Okay. So there's no CAPTCHA or anything that metadata can be captured. It's recommended to be on Thor. So read that, and then that's good, and that would be it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this training here. I hope it kind of helps you a little bit on some of the setup that you need to do. There are actual companies, that's actually quite a few companies out there now that have they are providing this service out there. So for large company, if they don't want that to bother designing their own, or they don't want to control that process. They normally just purchase a service. But I know even for some large company, they want to control the submission. They want to control the file, and they want to make sure that it is a secure submission site. So that would be it. And if you have some questions about the encryption process, I'm just using AES, and then I'm using RSA, public private key. So the public key is on the web, but they don't have the private key. They can't decrypt that as well. So I hope this answers a lot of questions out there. One of the big requirements of anonymous reporting or whistleblower reporting and designing a portal. So that would be it. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me some notes. And I look forward to helping you answer some of your questions. Other than that, that would be it for the training. Thank you for attending the training, and I'll see you in the next one.